Welcome back. It is currently 7:35 p.m. and today's date is the 31st of January 2026. This is the last day of the month and I hope you had a beautiful productive January and you're ready for February, which is the month of love. Of course, some people call December the season of love, but I think February is the month of love because, of course, you have Valentine's Day. But February 17th is my birthday. So, yes, I am a love child. Okay. I am a love child. All right. It is Saturday night, and you are tuned into the Genesis Show. And tonight we're going to talk about what's going on in the United States. Of course, a lot is going on. There's still protests going on. ICE is still deployed, of course. Foreign policies are still going on. Okay. And now there is a partial shutdown. Like, why? Okay. Now this is because of ICE. Okay. Democrats want ICE out of out of most blue states. And also here in Georgia, some Democrat representatives are saying they're going to make sure they fight till the end to make sure ICE do not get deployed in most of Georgia cities because there's been some videos going viral about some Georgian high school kids talking about they will fight ICE. What are you thinking? You are in high school. When you teach kids in high school that they can fight ICE, then they go outside thinking they're supposed to be in a fight with federal agent. That is not the way to train teenagers. You're training these teenagers wrongly, and once they get out of high school, it's gonna go downwards from there because they're gonna go into college and now they become radicals. They want to hurt people who don't believe in the same thing they believe in. It starts from this educational system that is hurting these kids. Parents are sending children to go to high school because they want them prepared and ready for the real world, not getting ideology bombarded left and right that wouldn't even help them in any way. What does it benefit a teenager to fight a federal agent? What does it benefit that child? And now, when a child gets hurt, parents would start protesting and saying, well, it's President Trump. No, it's not. It is wrong ideologies, wrong environment, wrong indoctrinations. Point blank, period. Hopefully, this changes, okay? Hopefully, this changes. Anyway, Don Lemon was arrested for briefly, probably like uh 4 hours, okay? And he was released. I don't think he had a bail. So he was released without bail. So why was he arrested in the first place? That's the question. Well, he was arrested because you guys hear me? Wait. Okay, so they're saying that he was arrested because he was in the church protesting when people were worshiping. It's a place of worship. You have the right to protest, okay? But why do you think you have the right to protest in a place of worship? Okay, it's not like a government house. But some people are saying that the pastor of the church or the person in charge of that ministry is an ICE agent or works with ICE. Even if that person works with ICE, what makes you think you can just badge into a house of worship? It could be any religion. It doesn't have to be Christian. It could be any religion. What makes you think you can badge into any religious home and start protesting? And you say, I have the right to be here. It's like somebody coming into your home and saying, well, I have the right to be here because I'm protesting. It's not right. But I want us to watch this video from his release, I guess. And he's still fighting definitely really hard for what he believes in, which everybody should be. But I don't stand with him when it comes to badging into House of Worship. I don't think that's right. But let's watch this.
Don, the indictment says that you protected the address. You protected the element of surprise. You kissed the organizer on camera. Do you consider yourself a participant or a journalist?
We on your side, Don.
Participating by saying don't
We got your back, Don.
Okay.
All right.
How are you?
Good.
To see you. We're on. We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but thank you. Tell us why you're doing this.
So
This is Nekima Levy Armstrong. She's on the show
Nekima
on
Levy
Friday.
Armstrong, civil rights attorney, longtime activist here in the community.
Don, the indictment says
Of course, this is going to make him even much more popular. He's been waiting for this for a long, long time. And now he's trending for sure. And everybody in the Democrat side, okay, in the deep blue caucus, they support him. Everybody's talking. Hakeem Jeffries is talking and saying, well, this is unconstitutional. And this is why I really admire the left. Okay, some people are going to say, well, Genesis, what do you mean you admire the left? Because they always bond, okay? They always support each other. Now, I'm not saying that you should support each other even when you're wrong. You should be able to say when somebody's wrong. I get it. I'm not arguing that part. But these folks on the left, they would ride till the end for the people they support. Like they're right till the end. But the people on the right, conservatives, nope. Throw you under the bus under 2 seconds. They throw you under the bus in 2 seconds. Okay, I think this should be something that the Republican Party, more conservatives, learn from. Okay, when a conservative is being thrown under the bus, more conservatives should come outside and say, we do not support this and we are with you, rather than, making it seem like, well, you could fight this by yourself. Because everybody came to this man's aid. Everybody. The mayor in California, Karen Bass, or Los Angeles mayor, who was in Africa when the fire broke out. True story. Okay. She supports Don Lemon. The entire left supports Don Lemon. Now, this is not me trying to, preach divide or whatnot, but it is just the facts. It is just the facts. So conservatives should learn from this and also learn to bond and support each other regardless. Okay. You can fight indoors, but when you get outside, support each other. Okay. When you get outside, when your enemies are looking at you, you support each other. But when you get back inside, then you can, you can say, well, I had to support you out there, but inside here, you messed up out there. Okay. You can scold them. You can discipline them when they're indoors. Okay. But when you're outside, it's like a relationship. Okay. When you're with your spouse outside, don't try to, argue with your spouse. Support them when you're outside. But when you get back inside, hey, babe, yeah, you messed up. But I had to support you. Okay. That's what family does. All right. So learn from the deep blue states, okay, and the deep blue caucus that supports Don Lemon regardless of if he's right or if he's wrong. Okay, they support Don Lemon, and is right now he's on fire. His name is on fire. Everybody's talking about Don Lemon. Is getting so much attention right now. So let's see what he does with it, and I'm sure they're going to start probably a fundraiser for him or something like that, because things like this, at the end of the day, it's like they use it for their own benefit. Okay. They always use it for their own benefit. Be rest assured that this situation with Don Lemon is also going to be a point in case during the 2026 midterm election and 2028 presidential election. All right, shout out to Ender's Game. Thank you for being here. God bless you, esteemed member and moderator. Shout out to Merviline. Good AM. How are you doing? If you're tuned in, God bless you. Don't forget to like and share and invite your friends. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What's going on in the United States? Also, Anders, he's telling me on the Discord channel that a young girl passed away under ICE custody in an ICE facility. I don't know how much of that is true, but I would have to do my own personal research on that. But if that kind of news keeps on, going viral, that is going to be a disaster for next election. Everything shouldn't be about the next election. I get it. But if you want your policies and your I would say ideologies that you're trying to implement and push in your country, if somebody else gets into the Oval Office in 2028, everything Trump has done is most likely going to be undone. It's like almost certain that, for example, if Gavin Newsom becomes the president of America in 2028, do you think everything Trump has done would just be there? He would almost immediately on day one undo everything Trump has done. He's definitely going to join WHO. He's definitely going to go back into NATO. He's definitely going to do everything Trump said we're not part of anymore. He's going to say, well, America is back and we're going to re-enroll in all of this worldwide organizations. Okay, so this is why elections are so important and why the media narrative can hurt or can be most times it's just to hurt because it's always hard for you to hear good news in the media. So it's always most likely going to hurt a lot of people. Okay. In 2028, when the next election is being held for the presidential seat, I think it's going to be a very tough run for JD Vance because there's so many clips out there that will be intended to hurt the Republican Party during those campaigns. So, there are good things that are happening as well, but if you see a campaign of an ICE agent shooting a lady in the car, and that is the campaign video that you're being, bombarded with every single day, and they're telling you President Donald Trump was in charge when this happened, it's going to be a bad look. It's not a good look at all. And that is going to be detrimental for the Republican Party. I'm just going to be, truthful. I'm going to be truthful. It's going to hurt. Okay. If Gavin Newsom becomes the president of America, oh my goodness. Okay. Hopefully. Dear Lord. Okay. Dear Jesus. All right. Now, Ender says BTC has dropped hard. That's another thing. As of today, matter of fact, I'll go check right now on Robinhood. This is not a sponsored ad from Robinhood. I use Robinhood, and I also use Charles Schwab's. Okay, so I'm gonna go on Robinhood right now and see what Bitcoin price is. Bitcoin price right now is 78,000. Today, I think it went down to about $71,000 today. Is it today? Let me see. Did it go down to 71? Okay, I don't think it went down to 71. It went down to 77. It's fall so hard. This is Gen Z most especially panicking, selling off real fast. They're selling off their Bitcoin real fast because it's like, Jesus, 77. He went from what, $120,000 to what, $70,000, $75,000, $77,000. So this is called panic mode. Okay, everybody's panicking. Everybody's trying to see, oh, maybe Bitcoin is a scam or this or that. But it's just like any other investment, the stock market, S&P 500 or whatnot. Some days are not so good. Some days are great. Okay. So if you believe in Bitcoin and you think this is just, a dip, then you should double down. Matter of fact, triple down and buy more Bitcoin. This isn't a financial advice. Okay. If you choose to, you can. And if you believe this is just downward spiral forever, then maybe you should just stick to ETFs and stable investment strategies, okay? But if you are a sucker for risks, okay, then stay with crypto because I think crypto most likely wouldn't just evaporate or disappear in one day, okay? It's here. It's been here for a long time and I think it's just going to keep growing. It's going to continue to dip like this. Sometime it's going to dip, but other times it's going to go up and they'll tell you, well, if you invested $1,000 in Doge last year, November, by this year, you would have had $29,000. News like that. You don't want to have news like that. So leave your money in there. Okay. Leave your money in there. Don't be left behind. Okay. Leave your money in there. I'm not saying, hey, I got some Bitcoin too, probably like $1,000, but I'm going to leave it in there. Just investment, in my opinion, okay, whether it's long-term investment or whatnot, should be something that you just do because you believe in it, okay? And it's not something that you're doing to get rich immediately, okay? It's a long-term basis, okay? If you open up your investment account, it should be for a long-term basis, at least 5-10 years, okay? It shouldn't be like, okay, next year I'm rich because I'm investing in Bitcoin. It shouldn't be that. All right. Anders says, I just put $10 in, had to take $5 during. Oh man, this is what I'm saying, Anders. Gen Zs are panicking and they're saying, "Oh my God, if you are going down from $79,000, $85,000 to $77,000 in like 2 hours, oh my goodness!" But I get it. It is panic mode for most younger generations, and most likely older generations would not invest in Bitcoin. Older generations, no. Like if you are 50 upward, I don't think you really care about Bitcoin. You only care about stable things like real estate, maybe some part of ETFs. Okay, some bonds. Maybe you want to, maybe you want to put your investment in those. Older generations don't care about crypto because they don't think crypto is reliant and it's going to be here for a long time because they already have their own brain wired in some certain way. It's like artificial intelligence. If you're 50 upward, you definitely don't care about artificial intelligence, especially when you have grandkids. It's like, why do I care about artificial intelligence? But the younger generations, oh, they care about artificial intelligence. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Like and share. Thank you for being here. Thank you, guys. God bless you. All right. Today we're also gonna react to some other videos. Now, of course, y'all do know that the Super Bowl is coming. Super Bowl halftime show. It is coming. And also Turning Point USA has a show. They're saying it is the halftime Turning Point show. Okay. So sort of trying to, I guess, tackle or get the crowd, the conservative crowd that wouldn't want to see what's his name, Bad Bunny, for Super Bowl halftime show to come to Turning Point USA. And I can guarantee you a lot of conservatives will run to Turning Point USA halftime show. It is just what it is. Because a lot of people are saying, well, if you're saying America first, why would you have Bad Bunny perform at the most American halftime show, which is, the NFL Super Bowl halftime show. So that is another one. And are you guys going to be going to the TPUSA, Turning Point USA halftime show? I don't even know where it is. A lot of people I don't think they're selling ticket. Is it by invitation or they're actually selling ticket? Maybe they're selling tickets. I don't know. Oh my goodness. They're saying Candace has gone missing. Anders, where did you hear that? Oh my goodness, man. 2026 is about to be bunkus. When did she go missing? What happened? Why is she missing? What in the world? Candace Owens is missing? Why? Is it that she's not posting on our social medias or what? The social media platform. What's going on? Why are people saying she's missing? I really don't follow Candace Owens like that. I personally, this is my opinion, okay? You don't have to hate me for this, okay? This is my opinion. I think Candace Owen is far right. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. I may be wrong. Who knows? But I think she's far right. Okay? I think she's far right. I think it's you can be far right, okay? And you can also be far left. Now, that might be, you know, something you don't support because I said that, but that's what I think because I've heard her say so many things that I support, and I've also heard her say so many things that I'm like, okay, that's a little too extreme. Okay. That's a little too extreme to the right. But just like you have radical left, you also have radical right. I don't think Candace Owen is a radical conservative. I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. I just think she's sometimes her views could be extreme right. Okay. My opinion. And just says couldn't have been AI news. Could have been AI news. Yeah, it could have been AI news. I just saw a passing headline. Yes. Candace is very vocal with her opinions and she really doesn't care what anybody thinks, which I like. And that has made her a household name and people trust and support her brand solely truly because of that. Okay? Because if you're a pretender, if you're not authentic, if you're not genuine with your beliefs and your opinions and you're not consistent with it, then it's like, okay, you're a fraud. But Candace has shown for years, for over a decade now, because a lot of people have been talking about Candace Owens for a long time. She's been doing this, debating in talk shows, you know, in the African American community, in all communities. She started in the African American communities, but now she's like worldwide. Mainstream media news, everybody knows Candace Owens for sure. Everybody knows Candace Owens. But, like I always say, I think she's incredible, absolutely incredible. But sometimes I think her views maybe sometimes far right, okay? Not all her views, but sometimes I think some of her views may be far right. Shout out to the GOAT, Dr. Luke the GOAT. God bless you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, we spoke about Don Lemon. He was arrested, but he was released without bail. So the entire left, okay, the deep blue hackers, everybody was in support of his release, and they were saying that President Donald Trump had, or whoever arrested him, had no right, no constitutional right to have detained him, and he was released without bail. That's just out of this world. Okay. And all of that was because of the church protest. Okay. This happened, this video right here happened in London. Okay. Broad daylight. Okay. Watch this.
Calling the police. Call the police.
It says here 10:30 on a Saturday in Richmond, London. Broad daylight, ladies and gentlemen. Where are the police at? Where are the law enforcement? This is what most deep blue cities want. Subconsciously, it's what they want. I'm back. All right, so most deep blue cities don't even know this is what they're advocating for subconsciously. Because if you say we don't want law enforcement, say no to ICE, no ICE bringing your teenage children to support you because obviously you are a child in a grown up's body because you don't understand that law enforcement is the law of the land. When you get into trouble, who do you call? Somebody's coming to your home to attack you when you defend yourself, okay, because you have the right to defend yourself. All right, this is America. But when you're, you know, back and forth. At the end of the day, you call law enforcement. Okay, when you say you don't want law enforcement, this is what you are advocating for. And this ain't sexy.
Shut the door in case he comes in here.
Look at this. And why are people filming? Like, can't you just look at this? Oh wait, the owner of the store is in there. The owner of the store is in there. Look at the owner of the store. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at this. Oh man. Can you imagine the owner of the store fighting for their life? Look at this. Look at it. This is what the Blue Cities want. This is what they want. No law enforcement. Pure chaos. This is what they want. This is it right here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Incredible. Incredible. This is incredible. Hell to the no. Okay? Hell to the no. I also wanted to show you guys a video that I saw that as soon as I saw it, I quickly realized that this is what's going wrong in America right now. When you don't allow ICE agents, federal agents do their job, literally filming law enforcement officers, like in their face. I'm about to get you that video right now. But before that, they're taking protest into Walmart. They're taking protest into Target. They're taking protest into churches. I mean, Jesus, what are we doing? Check this. In Walmart. I can't make this up. Look at this. And can you guys actually see that these are young teenagers? Look at them. So this is the new generation of zero thought process. Look at this. These are high school kids being brainwashed to say F ICE. At your young age, you are already being groomed, trained, indoctrinated to hate law enforcement. So when you grow up and you're being stopped by the policeman to see your driver's license or your registration because you were speeding, you're going to start throwing tantrums and saying they're discriminating against you and that they're bad people because you have been indoctrinated to think that law enforcement is your enemy. They're not your enemy. And the fact that they're going into high schools to harvest these kids when they're young, literally forming up their minds in the way they wish, is just out of this world. Kids like this should be learning about America. They should be learning about things that make America America. Learn the Constitution. Learn the laws of the land. That's what you should be learning in your teenage years. But no, they're learning to go into Walmart to say F ICE. They're not even learning to protest the right way. This is why sometimes you may want to homeschool your children because this is sad. Look at these kids. These kids should be getting prepared to be the next senators of their states, the next reps of their state. These kids should be getting ready to be the next president of America, the next innovators of America, the next leaders of America are screaming F ICE. That's what the leaders of America are screaming. So it's like they're building a generation that hates America. That's what I think is going on right now. I think there's a new generation coming up that they're intentionally being trained to not like America, to think America is their enemy, to think that America is their problem. That's why children like this, that were born most likely in America, can say F ICE. Why? Because they're deporting illegal, criminal, alien. If you call any of these children and ask them about the Constitution of America, about the laws of the land, they probably don't know. They probably don't even know where the White House is or who was the first president of America or when is Independence Day. Probably don't know. They don't even, some of these kids don't even know what continent America is on. They don't, but they do know F ICE though. They know that, but they don't know history about their country. Welcome to America, ladies and gentlemen. This is sad. This is absolutely sad. This is sad. More protest. More protest. I'm not saying don't protest. I'm not saying don't stand against something that you don't like. But there are ways to protest. This isn't protesting. Going into Walmart, being a nuisance is not protesting. I gotta tell y'all, this isn't protesting. All right, of course, more foolishness.
Down, down with deportation! From Palestine to Mexico! The border walls have got to go!
The border walls have got to go? Wait, what are you saying? You think countries around the world don't have borders? Without a border, how do you have a country? This border wall have to go. Like, so what? Merge with Mexico? Merge with Venezuela? Merge with Colombia? Like, what is going on here? What in the world going on here? Shout out to Ender's Game. Ender's Game says, and that's why he thinks that America is about to fall. And it says, pray your travel is not in the winter. It's still winter. It's not impossible. I personally do not think that this, I know everybody has their own reservations, but I think that this, like every other generation has done, just like during the civil movement, all right, the civil right movement, most people thought that there would be no America after the Civil War that happened. But guess what? America came back and they came back strong. Okay, so sometimes, it might look like it's bad. It might look like there's no brighter days ahead because, some people are acting unusual. That doesn't mean that, the darkest hour is not gonna pass and the dawn is gonna come. So, just like dark days, you think it's never gonna end and all of a sudden it's gone. When 9/11 happened, I can almost guarantee that a lot of Americans thought that was the end of America. But years later, America is still here, strong and shining. So I don't think a couple of teenage kids acting like they don't have home training and being indoctrinated by some, bad actors would destroy this beautiful country. I don't think so. They can, do a little something, but that's not gonna destroy this beautiful, great land. I don't think so. That's what I believe. Okay. Shout out to Sandra. God bless you for being here. Thank you. Welcome. Yes. All right, here we go.
Down, down with deportation. Up with liberation. Up with liberation. Down, down with deportation. Down, down with deportation. No back to the wall. No wall. Sanctuary for the bed. Sanctuary for
So they don't want border walls. They want sanctuary cities. They don't want any more deportation. They don't want to hear that anybody is an illegal criminal alien. They don't want to hear that, you don't have legal document to be in the United States. You don't have permanent residence. You don't have documentations to be here. They don't want to hear that. They want every single person who came here, whether illegally or that are here committing criminal crimes or being criminal, they don't want those people out of America. So basically you want a utopia. They want a utopia. These folks want utopia.
the people united will never be defeated. No KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. One struggle, one fight. One struggle, one fight. All unite for immigrant rights. All unite for immigrant rights. One struggle, one fight. One struggle.
I really believe most of these people are actually getting paid. Like, there's no way. There's just no way. Most of these folks are most likely getting paid because most of these people are American citizens. Most of them are American citizens. Most of them were born in America. So it's not like you're talking about immigrant right. Man, please. Immigrant right. Getting paid talking about immigrant right. Man, Jesus. We got to do better, man. Nobody's saying don't support what you support, but if it's wrong, it's wrong. I mean, look at this video right here. All right, I'm about to show y'all this right here. Literally, this adults, okay, are putting their phones, their mobile devices in front of ICE agents' face. It's like you're assaulting ICE agents, basically. Go home. Look at this.
If you're a crazy, liberal, ugly woman, otherwise known as Crazy Karens, please go back home and annoy your husbands instead of our beautiful ICE officers. Although when you think about it, you probably don't have a husband because you're fat and ugly and annoying, and nobody will ever marry you. I know you're all wearing pajamas, but this would be a nice moment to maybe start with a little jog around the block so you can lose some of that weight and maybe think about some of those life decisions where everything went wrong. Anyway, if you keep...
I mean, look at this. These are adults. Is that gray hair on her head? And she's literally putting her phone in front of a federal agent, blocking his entry into his car. Is that it? Is that what she's doing? What are these adults doing?
So you can lose some of that weight and maybe think about some of those life decisions where everything went wrong. Anyway, if you
Get
keep
outta
fucking
there.
around with that guy, you're going to get
Ah.
pepper sprayed, bitch. So please just, well, there you go, bitch. You kept fucking around.
Oh God, we gotta run that
Now
back.
you found out. Keep fucking around with that guy. Your nice moment to maybe start with a little jog around the block so you can lose some of that weight and maybe think about some of those life decisions where everything went wrong. Anyway, if you keep fucking around with that guy, you're going to get pepper.
Anders says it's called antagonizing. Okay, antagonization. That's the word he used, because you're antagonizing this agent. And that's the right word right there. Okay, and she about to find out right quick. Watch this.
Some of those life decisions where everything went wrong. Anyway, If you keep fucking around with that guy, you're gonna get pepper sprayed, bitch. So please just, well, there you go, bitch. You kept fucking around, and now you found out. Believe me.
Oh man, you kept effing around and you found out. That's what happens when adults act like children. And just President Trump's voiceover under this video just made everything click. Okay? Because it's like you are effing around with federal agent as an adult, okay? You are putting your phone in front of a federal agent's face. What are you if you want to film federal agents, you got the right. You can do that from afar. Must you get in his face like this? Why? What do you have to gain? What do you have to gain? You just want to rattle this ICE agent so they can do something to harm you, and you're gonna cry. Oh look, Donald Trump is racist. Look what he's doing. Oh God. Oh God. I'm moving to Europe. Oh, I'm going to Ireland. Man, please. Rosie O'Donnell has gone to wherever she went to. President Trump said they can keep her anyway. It's like if you guys don't like America anymore, you can move. Okay? I love America. That's why I'm here. If people don't love America, then you can move. Okay? You can move. All right? Canada is right there. Get some cold and get some ice storms in. Okay? If you like the cold, move to Canada. They'll welcome you. All right? Venezuela. Right there. All right. Nicki Minaj is going bunkers.
Fuck her.
Man, bro, chill. Tell this bro to chill with his wig on. Somebody tell bro to chill, man. Tell bro to chill with his makeup and his wig on. I ain't got nothing against this guy. I think, he's done what he's done and is an icon in his world, in Hollywood and fashion, whatever they do. But F her for what? Because she got a gold card. And that's the thing. Don Lemon was talking about how Nicki Minaj was bending the knee because she wanted the Trump gold card. But did she get the gold card? Absolutely. She got the gold card. Okay. Hey, Nicki Minaj got the gold card. Now people are saying, well, she had to bend the knee for it. Who cares what? Look, I don't care. She got a gold card. Okay. She got the gold card for free. Okay. She got it for free. And people are hurt because she is supporting the president. And it's like, in my opinion, it's like seeing the prodigal daughter come back home because, of course, she's in Hollywood. She's been in Hollywood for virtually all her life, and she's definitely a star in the rap world, and she has that prominent name. So a lot of people are saying, well, why would you support President Donald Trump? Okay. And some people are saying she did it because of the gold card, the Trump gold card. That's what people are saying that she did it for. But I think it's just part of the whole package. If you support a president, I mean, I guess you should get something in return.
Fuck her. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time.
This is an adult, ladies and gentlemen, going crazy for another adult. Look at his face. Look at this. Look at this. Look at him or her or she or them or they. Okay? Allegedly. All right? Why would an adult who has responsibilities, who has daily life obligations, be acting like this in public because they don't support somebody else's opinions or ideologies? Look at them face. I mean, because I don't even know I don't know if it's a he or she or them or they, but Why are you going crazy for another human being opinion? Why? Anyway, in this situation called Epstein Files, a lot of people are on Epstein Files. Okay, a lot of people are on Epstein Files. I'm not even gonna go into that, but I have this video that I think Joe Rogan posted on X, and when I saw it, I'm like, this is insane. I think that was the caption too as well. Look at this. This is allegedly, I guess, Epstein. Look at this. Is he chasing a minor? How many is he chasing? How many are they? They had to censor these kids out of these videos because obviously that's just not fair on these kids. But is Epstein chasing kids around in this video? And why is he chasing kids around in this video? And Anders says 5 million plus just released. I'm sure this is part of the videos that was released. And where are these kids? Where are their parents? These kids, where are their parents? That's the question. Where are their parents? When they allow this old man. Look at this. Oh man. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. This. Yeah, I gotta change this. I can't even watch this. No more. All right. Here we go.
Hi, I actually, do you live here?
Yeah, I do. And why are you recording?
So I saw your flag, and I really appreciate it because I'm actually with the Fighting Fascism and Right-Wing Tyranny
Gives up. I saw your flag. What flag? Flag? Is he talking about the ABCDQ flag?
Symposium, or the farts, and we're under a lot of pressure right now because we're trying to defend against MAGA. So we're circulating a short questionnaire. I was wondering if you'd be willing to...
Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares, bro. Promise you, nobody cares, bro. You saw your flag? Nah, bro. There's only one flag, American flag, okay? There's only one flag in America, which is American flag and states flags, okay? Not your community flag, okay? Okay. If that's the case, I think everybody should have flags. Okay, married people should have flags. Fathers should have flags. Mothers should have flags, okay? Patriots should have flags. Veterans should have flags. So, oh, we saw your flag. We saw your flag. Oh, you support us. Don't nobody support that. All right, here we go. And I don't even dislike him or nothing because I've worked with a lot of people who are in the LGBTQ community, and some of them are actually good people. Okay, just like there are bad actors everywhere. Okay, you're gonna meet some good people in the LGBTQ community. You're gonna meet some bad people. Same as the straight world. There are bad straight guys, and there are, you know, good straight guys. So whatever you choose, there's always gonna be bad actors, regardless. So it's not like I'm picking sides or whatnot, which I am. All right, here go President Trump, the real one right here.
Go Army, here we go.
Well, I can't. I look.
What can you say? What can you say? Go Army.
Go Army. Go Army.
Go Army, here we go.
Look at this.
Well, I can't. I look.
I don't know how you can just not like this guy though. I don't know. This is legendary President Trump. Like I could never feel any type of way because I voted for President Trump because I truly believe he's the right man for the job. I mean, it's that easy. All right. Kanye West. All right. Kanye West is back in the news apologizing to the Jews and the African American community. And of course, his new album is coming out. And people are saying that he's only doing this apology because he has new project he's working on. Okay. Here goes yay, yay. Wait. Did I tell you guys Jay-Z was in Epstein files? Did I say that? They're saying Jay-Z is in Epstein files, yo. They're saying Jay-Z is in Epstein files, yo. Well, everybody else, look, everybody has always known that Hollywood is just it's a fast track to the other side. Okay, if you know what I'm talking about.
If you take people like Jay-Z and fucking Pusha T, they made their living killing our people. So how the fuck they gonna stand up for our people?
Did Kanye just say that about Jay-Z, who back in the day used to be his best friend? And I think Jay-Z's boss signed Kanye at the time. Jay-Z was with Rockefeller and with Dame Dash, and I think they came together and they signed Kanye West back in the day. And Kanye West is saying this type of stuff about Jay-Z. Definitely, he knows a lot about Jay-Z.
And fucking Pusha T, they made their living killing our people. So how the fuck they gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, oh, Beyonce had the best fit for somebody else? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth, they didn't go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars. Man. Liars are now the face of our culture. If you take people like Jay-Z.
And that's another thing. Liars are now the faces of all culture, really. It's not just the African American community. Like if you turn on this mainstream news media, it's all bunch of BS. And that's why I was like, okay, I'm not going to stream mainstream news media anymore because it's like most people are just really amplifying what they're being told to amplify, okay? Because a lot of this huge influencers, conservative influencers, or Democrat influencers, it's like they're being paid to push an ideology, whether it's on the right, whether it's on the left. It's like, why?
Somebody else? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth, they didn't go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars. Man. Liars are now the face of our culture. If you take people like Jay-Z and fucking Pusha T.
All right, Kanye. There goes Kanye. And there are more videos about Epstein that I'm seeing here that I'm not sure I want to play some of this, but it is wild. It is wild. All right. Bill Mayer. Of course, Bill Mayer he's had an epiphany, and of course, he's awoke. So, Bill Mayer, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Porter asked me why I wasn't wearing a lapel pin for the first Minneapolis shooting a couple of weeks ago, and I said, well, it was a terrible thing that happened, and it shouldn't have happened, and if they didn't act like such thugs, it wouldn't have had to happen, but I don't need to wear a pin about it. Now, please understand, I had no idea this question was coming, and so tonight, I'd like to say that if I had the chance to think about it, my answer would be exactly the same. According to the internet, what I
Exactly. It's like you act like you don't have common sense. Bad things are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. I'm sorry that happened to, both people in Minnesota, which I truly believe could have been avoided. I actually blame both parties, whether you're, the protesters and ICE. Both people have to take accountability for what happened to those people. But the people also have to take accountability as well, not just ICE agent. Both parties have to take accountability. You should not be out there antagonizing, just like Anders said, antagonizing this ICE agent. An ICE agent should find ways to reevaluate the escalation methods. Like I said earlier, okay, they're trained and they're supposed to be skilled. You shouldn't be fatigued out there. You shouldn't be frustrated out there. Okay, you should be of calm mind and control yourself. Okay, because of course it's not an easy job. If you're going to be ICE agent, it's not an easy job. It's not, oh, I'm going to get paid fast. And that's another thing. I also believe that, I may be wrong, who knows? I also believe that some people are just rushing to ICE because they want to get the benefits, because ICE is paying really well. President Trump promised he was going to deploy ICE agent and was going to employ ICE agent, a lot of ICE agents around the country, and they're going to get paid nicely with good benefits. So when you hear that, a lot of people are actually doing this for the love of country, and some other folks are doing this just because they want to get paid. So if you don't love the country and you truly genuinely want to serve, not just because you want to get paid, I think before you even get employed in ICE, you should be questioned. I don't know how it goes. Maybe they're doing it. I don't know. But you should be properly interviewed, and your ideologies should be questioned. And let's know why you want to be an ICE agent. It's not because you want to arrest people and just send people out. It's just it should be because of the love of country. Just like joining the army. Okay, it should be because of the love of country. It shouldn't be because you're trying to get the GI Bill. I mean, it could be both. It could be because you love your country, and of course you're trying to get the benefit as well. But I think if you're a patriot, you're just doing it because you love the country. You don't care if you get paid for it or whatnot. So this isn't me saying that ICE agents shouldn't get paid what they're getting paid. I'm just saying that if you're going to be an ICE agent, you should be doing it because you love the country, not because you're trying to get paid fast. All right? So that's my part. Bill Mayer.
My comments at the Globes was laugh, scoff, mock, take a dig at, and refuse to join Golden Globes activism. Golden Globes activism? Oh, you mean the activism of fixing a fucking pin to my suit? I'm sorry, it clashed with my kafia. I hope I didn't spoil the perfect record of pins and ribbons solving all the world's problems. I mean, you can't name a problem from guns to AIDS to bullying to breast cancer that still exists after people wore a ribbon for it. Except all of them. You fucking posers. 3 years ago, everybody was all into Ukrainian flags. What happened to that?
Exactly. Everybody was saying, well, you're not even putting on Ukrainian attires and, pins or whatnot. Remember when they said that? Now it is, you have to stand against ICE.
The cause tossed into the junk drawer with yesterday's choke collar. Get out of here with your virtue signaling body ornaments. They're just crucifixes for liberals.
He's right. He's absolutely right. He is absolutely right. Okay, everybody with their sentimental cooperation. They only support what they support when it benefits them. If it doesn't benefit them, they don't support it. More protests. Look at these kids. That's what I'm telling you. These children don't even know what's going on. Harassing an adult, old man, because they're protesting. Man, you can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. This new generation, like literally from like, I would say from 13 to 19, they need to be properly trained for the future. Because if these are the future of tomorrow, harassing an adult like this, I don't know. It's about to be a disaster. All right, back to Epstein.
Tier 1.
Tier 1's the highest and worst?
No, I'm
the lowest.
I'm the lowest. Your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question. Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember the devil is somebody knows
smart?
The devil's brilliant. You read Milton's Paradise Lost.
No, the devil scares me.
Satan is at the number 1 or 2 archangel, and the reason he goes to hell and leads the rebellion is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven.
I saw that in a movie.
What are you, class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
Tier 1's the highest and worst?
No, I'm the lowest.
I'm the lowest.
Your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
What I believe about Epstein is he was entangled, just like Will Smith's wife said. He was entangled with so many powerful people, and he delivered on his expertise, I guess, which would be getting them getting them this, literally, I don't want to say underage girls, okay? I don't want to say it, but that may be his job, okay? He was supplying this wealthy, powerful powers that be with these girls, and they protected him until maybe something went wrong completely. You know, so all of this information coming out now, it's really, I personally feel like the people that could have been affected really are not even on it anymore. It's like they've taken out those people. I mean, I don't know for sure. I may be wrong, but you know, this old files that's out now, do you think it's the actual thing that's out? Do you think it's the legit thing that's out? I don't know. I don't know if it's the legit thing that's out. Okay, I mean, it's just wow that he was able to do what he did for so many years, and you know, nobody really saw anything wrong with what he did until when he was caught, you know? I mean, it's a tricky situation. All right, Sienna, what do you have to say?
He's alone, and they're just throwing things at him.
Procuring, that's another word. Vendors. He was procuring the girls for them. He was procuring the underage girls. Is that what you're saying for them? Yeah, Jesus. Godly.
You can see an officer back there. He's alone, and they're just throwing things at him. I mean, it's just pretty incredible that these protesters have overtaken this, and there's no police. I don't see anybody here to kind of manage this crowd.
Of course, CNN, of course. When you had ICE agents there, the mayors and the governors of these cities are saying their policemen should not support ICE agents. We're not going to stand with ICE agent, of course. Now, one officer is left there with his mob. What do you expect to happen to him? And she's there saying, this is incredible. I don't see anybody controlling the crowd because you guys keep pushing the wrong things. Keep pushing fake news, basically. Look at this mob right here with one agent.
So like I was saying, this is at the tail end of a very long day. Looks like they're cheering because they were able to push that officer back inside. Okay, and now people, okay, all right, hold on. Do you see the police? You
Dear Lord. Dear Lord. One day, I believe that America, whether you are from any part of America, whether blue cities or red cities, whether you are a conservative or a Democrat, a Republican or a Democrat, whatever you are, that we would be able to just sit down, have a dialogue, and not pick sides just because you support Democrat Party, I support Republican Party. So it's like we're supposed to be enemies. No, we should be able to sit down, have a dialogue, and not be radicals like this. If we can't do that, then we're just basically animals. All right, basically animals. All right, Vladimir Putin has a lot to say. I don't know why the war in Ukraine isn't ending, but I still believe it's going to end. And this strategic placement that President Trump is really working on for America with Greenland and all of these people, all of these other policies, rather, it's like, I know it's going to help Ukraine basically in this war because this is just out of this war going on for so many years. People have died and it's still
В
going on.
западных элитах очень сильно желание заморозить существующее положение, несправедливое положение вещей в международных делах. Они привыкли столетиями набивать брюхо человеческой плотью, а карманы деньгами. Но они должны понять, что бал вампиров заканчивается.
Oh, was that a threat? Was that a was that a threat?
В западных элитах,
the Western elite in the Western elite
очень сильно
is a very strong
желание
desire to freeze the existing situation, the unjust what?
положение вещей
State of things
в международных делах.
in international affairs.
Они привыкли столетиями
набивать
брюхо человеческой плотью, а карманы деньгами. Но они должны понять, что бал вампиров заканчивается.
Whoa, that was damn near a threat. That was a threat to the Western world. And what is he talking about? What is he talking about saying? Filling their body up with human flesh. What? Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know if we should be taking Vladimir Putin seriously on this threat. I don't know. Considering what and how long what the United States did in Venezuela and how long he's been fighting the war with Ukraine. I don't know if we should be taking this threat seriously. And of course, the gorgeous Sandra says, Charlie Kirk tried that. And And you want to see what happened to him? Look at this. Okay, you guys, are you guys having storms like snowstorm or whatever in your states? We had a little snow today. It wasn't so much, but my little girl was able to go outside, build a little snowman. That was fun to watch her do it with other kids. But this isn't a time for you to go swimming in this cold, okay? This isn't a time for you to start doing cold plunge, okay? You made it, bro. You would have gone straight to the other side. Godly. Don't try this at home, ladies and gentlemen. Do not try this at home. Okay. I'm going to end this ICE protest conversation with this video right here. And I think this is like the summary of everything I've been trying to tell you guys.
Drove by. ICE just drove by. They came and arrested somebody. Nobody blew whistles. Nobody boxed them in. And most importantly, nobody got hurt. You ever notice how they leave you alone if you leave them alone? Just saying.
Jeez, easy. Let ICE do their job. Let federal agent do their job. And keep it pushing. This is easy, ladies and gentlemen. But people like making things hard. It's just like human beings. We like looking for problems when there are no problems. I've only like you could be having a good time right now, and all of a sudden it's like, just enjoy the day, okay? Don't try to find problems. Just breathe in and relax. People are always trying to find situations when there are no situations. Okay? Let ICE get who they're there for. Stop trying to antagonize ICE, just like Ender says. And this guy just told you, let ICE do their job. If you don't bother ICE, you would not be bothered. Okay? And that goes my... Is he drinking a Batman? Yep, he is. He is. He is. He definitely... Let me see. Batman. Yeah. Probably a Batman drink. Or a Batman cup. A Batman mug. Probably coffee in there. I think Batman is the greatest superhero too as well. Because, I mean, he's notoriously wealthy. And his superpower is he's rich. According to him, was that Justice League? In Justice League, he said, I don't know. Do you guys like watching superhero movies? Okay. In Justice League, Batman, Bruce Wayne said his superpower is he's rich. Okay. And of course, people always take away the fact that he literally hurts himself by going out every single night trying to defend the defenseless. The suit doesn't really shield him 100%. When he falls, when he gets stabbed or gets shot, it's not like 100% bulletproof. But he goes out there anyway. I think Batman is the greatest superhero. Okay, that's my opinion. All right. What do you guys want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about? Do you want us to keep going? We already spoke about Don Lemon. We spoke about the BS going on around right now. Of course, Epstein files. And wait. Okay. Let's round it up with this. Let me see. Let's do. Also, have any of you watched Melania on Prime Video? President Trump's wife has a movie out. Have any of you seen that? All right, I'm going to end it with this executive order President Trump signed. And we're going to end it from there. Here we go.
On in the
Or
IndyCar series.
do you guys want to do his cabinet meeting? Nah, I don't think that's too long. Let's do this one. One thing is for sure, this man is working like a
It's a
horse.
very exciting thing that we're doing, and it was fast. They've wanted to do it. I understand they've been here hundreds of times over the years trying to do it, and they're going to give you a little bit of history. Roger Penske, everybody knows he's.
Miss Sandra says Tom Holman. Definitely. Tom Holman was deployed to Minnesota and the other guy was, relieved. And so far, so good. Tom Holman has been doing a good job because there's been, no terrible news coming from Minnesota so far. So that's a good look for Tom Holman. Of course, Tom Holman has decades of experience with so many other presidents. So he knows how to handle tough situations like Minnesota. He's been doing this for virtually all his life. So I think President Trump deploying Tom Holman to Minnesota and really any other place that has chaos like Minnesota, for example, Chicago, all right, or Los Angeles. I personally think that's a good thing for those cities because Tom Holman really, as much as you think is like his face looks like the border wall, a lot of people say Tom Holman's face looks like the border wall. But if you go back in time to when he sat down with the then mayor of New York, which was the African American man, I can't even remember his name, but that guy really wasn't saying good things about Tom Holman or ICE at the time. But Tom Holman still went to New York. He sat down with him and they had a conversation. So Tom Holman is that person that he really doesn't care if you're like, deep blue person or, you don't really care about ICE or whatnot, or you don't support ICE. He's still going to talk to you. Okay. And I think that's what most people don't have. They don't have the ability to sit down and have a conversation with people that don't agree with you. And I think because of the experience Tom Holman has and the years he's been doing this for, he knows how to sit down with basically his enemies and still have a dialogue with them. So and that's why he could talk to Tim Walz, okay? Because Tom Holman, who obviously is a conservative, and Tim Walz, who in 2020, his city almost burns down to the ground, Tom Holman could still sit down with that person and have a conversation. And that's what America should be. Whether you don't like this person's ideologies or opinion, you should be able to sit down and have a conversation. Okay, and have conversations. So Tom Holman definitely is the MVP when it comes to, doing his job and, ICE and Homeland Security and all that stuff. And Kristi Noem also says that she's going through, she's been getting a lot of threat, especially after the 2 killings in Minnesota. She's been getting a lot of threat. That's what she said on Fox News one time like that. And also Don Bongino is back on the news. Don Bongino is back and he's back with his podcast as well. I don't know why he left FBI. I guess it was just too much for him. I guess it was just too much for him.
He's a legend in many different things, but certainly in racing. He's won the Indianapolis 500 20 times. On the 18th time, I said, he's been a friend of mine for a long time, but on the 18th time I said, I think I'm going to give him the Presidential Medal of Freedom because, you know, how do you do that? Japan, Germany, Roger, right? Everybody, they want to win the Indy 500. They spend billions of dollars getting a car, and this guy wins it like every year. He won it so many times that he ended up buying the track. So now he owns a track, he owns a race. It's pretty good. Now he's won it, though. He won it 2 times since he got it. And it's a total of 20. And didn't you win the Daytona 500?
Yes.
How many times?
4 times.
That's all? That's it. That's terrible. I can't believe it. Anyway, if you win it once, it's like great. The guy's amazing. He's a genius, and a real genius at cars and racing. And they are going to put up something that's really amazing. It's really having to do with our great 250th birthday, where we're having so many wonderful things. UFC is coming, as you know, in front of the White House with a building literally a stadium.
That's another thing with the UFC going to White House. I don't know how many of you have been to the White House before, but it's like, how is that going to happen? I would like to actually go see that fight in real time, the White House, because it's like, wait, how are they going to build the stage, the ring, and all that stuff? I don't know how they're going to do it, but President Trump said Dana is going to be the person handling none of that cost, not the taxpayers' money. That's what he said. If you guys remember, he's saying Dana and the UFC Corporation and, you know, whatever they do there, they're going to be the company to get the cost, okay, to pay for all of this stuff, okay. So, but it's just the White House will be hosting UFC. The UFC would pay for the cost, so taxpayers should not be alarmed, okay, because people are going to say, well, Trump is using America's taxpayers' money to entertain himself with UFC in the White House. Now, a lot of people don't support UFC at the White House. I think it could be bringing the people closer to their leader, because anybody can attend it, I guess. Can anybody attend a UFC fight? You have to be rich. I don't know. I guess they're going to sell tickets.
Have over 100,000 people. And this is going to have a lot of people. I won't even say how many people because I think it can set a record for racing. It's going to be very, very important. We're celebrating Greatness with American Motor Racing. That's going to be the name of the event. It's going to take place on August 21st through the 23rd. And it's going to be so exciting. And
No, Enders. It is going to be outdoors for sure because there's no way it's going to be. I mean, it could be done in the ballroom. I mean, who knows? But I think it's going to be outdoors, especially if it's going to be in the summertime. I don't think it's going to be indoors. And the legendary Sandra says, Bongino missed his family also. I mean, if you're going to take that kind of job, you got to think about, 4 or 5 years from now. Okay. So he took the job and later on said, hey, my wife, hey, my wife says, I don't have time like that. He said it on Fox News. So I don't know. It's the thing. Like some people just, it's like, it's a hype. Everybody wants to, it's happening now. Let's do it. I'm not blaming Dumb Bongino for what happened. I'm just saying, sometimes you have to weigh your options, okay? He was doing really good with his podcast. A lot of people listen to Dumb Bongino for sure. He's been working with the United States government for a long, long time before he became, a podcaster or whatnot. But, sometimes you got to just weigh your options, okay? You got to be like, okay, do I really want to do this? Okay. But I guess he felt like he could really make a change in the FBI. And maybe when he got into the, Federal Bureau of Investigation, when he got into that facility, when he got into that community or that environment, he maybe suddenly realized that, oh my goodness, I may not have the kind of power to change what I thought in my mind I could change, even if I am the deputy FBI director. Maybe that's what he quickly realized and said, I don't want to be a part of this. Maybe that's what happened to him. maybe he just used "I miss my family" to sort of kind of like, run out of the FBI because it may it may it may be, for a lack of better word, it may have been way too corrupt for him to make any change. So I guess he just went straight back to his podcast. That may be another angle. Okay, that may be another angle right there. I mean, who knows? I mean, we don't. That's the thing. Like I always say, we only know what we know. Okay, from all of this information we're being fed on X, on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, on all of this social platform, and most especially this mainstream media news. Okay, so most of these people, like Don Bongino for sure, being a deputy FBI director, he would have had access to informations that you could never even imagine. Okay, so maybe he saw those things and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm not capable of making the change that I thought I could make," because the system maybe would not allow him do it. So, sometimes you just got to follow your guts. I guess he followed his guts and he's out of the FBI. So, who is going to be the new deputy FBI director? I guess President Trump is going to peak. Or also, we got to talk about Kash Patel. Okay, what do you guys think about Kash Patel? What do you guys think about Kash Patel? Because when Kash Patel started and he became the FBI director, everybody was saying Kash Patel was the perfect, especially the conservatives. Everybody was saying Kash Patel was 100% good to go. Like he was the perfect person for the job. Do you guys still think Kash Patel is the perfect person for the job? Let me know.
I love the racing. I don't have a lot of time to watch it, but I love the racing. And just before we start, I will say numbers came out this morning. They're phenomenal for the country. So we announced yesterday that for the first time in, I think, 28 years, America made more steel than Japan. Can you believe it? Japan's a big steel country. America made more steel than Japan. The numbers are record-setting numbers. Every one of our numbers are doing. We've never had anything like it. We have over $18 trillion coming into our country. We're building thousands of plants and all sorts of businesses all over the United States. It's never been anything like it. $18 trillion investment. So we have over $18 trillion being invested in the United States of America. The record was $3 trillion 10 years ago, not by us, by another country. And we're going to do 18, and I think the 18 is going to go higher. We're just looking at 11 months. The 12th month hasn't come in yet, but it's going to bring us over 18, maybe even hit 20. So you have 18 to $20 trillion coming in, and we've never had anything like it. We have a record we just set, as you know. The S&P 500 just set a new record, 7,000. Nobody thought that was possible in this quick a time. They thought maybe at the end of 4 years or 5 years or 6 years. But we did it in the first year. And we had 40.
And that's another thing right there. Are you guys, like, I'll keep saying this, are you guys invested in the stock market, like your 401ks and all that stuff? Your numbers are going up for sure right now. Like if you're invested in the stock market, like you heard, S&P 500 has gone all the way up. Okay, so I mean, to $7,000, that's unbelievable. People were talking about $5,000 a couple of months ago. Now it's $7,000. So, maybe you might want to put some money in the stock market. Okay, it might be $500, $1,000 or whatnot, but it should be a long-term projection, not because you're trying to get rich fast. Okay, get rich quick always keeps you broke and poor. Okay, that's something that I've come to realize. When you're trying to get rich fast, it doesn't work.
Stock market highs, Roger. So Roger's a big beneficiary because he has a lot of stock. But anybody that has stock, including people with 401ks. So the economy has never been like this. It was just announced that crime is at an all-time low. Best numbers on crime in the recorded history of our country, and the lowest numbers of murders in the history of our country that we have. Recorded history goes back 125 years. That's not bad. And a lot of that is because of the fact that we have a closed border. We've taken out thousands and thousands of criminals and murderers and drug dealers and everything else. And we've either brought them back to their country, or in some cases we have to put them in our jails because we don't want to have them come back.
Wait. Anders says he can't answer the poll because he did not vote. You didn't vote? But you voted. Wait. Anders, you didn't vote? We're going to have to reevaluate Anders. Okay. We're going to have to reevaluate my brother Anders.
And so we don't want to just bring them back to their country and then they maybe come back. Despite our border, they're pretty sneaky, pretty smart. So we're doing things that nobody's ever seen before. The country is really in great shape. We have a large armada, flotilla, you can call it whatever you want, heading toward Iran right now. Even larger
Oh, wait,
than what we
you've
have
never
in
voted?
Venezuela. It's still in front of Venezuela.
Never?
The Venezuelan situation, the leadership is doing a very good job. We're very happy, and we're getting along very, very well. And we're inviting countries of the world very shortly. They're going to be starting to take the oil. We're going to be heading that with the country, and it's worked out really well. We're now sending actually a larger number of ships to Iran, and hopefully we'll make a deal. If we do make a deal, that's good. If we don't make a deal, we'll see what happens. But this is going to be exciting. So I'm going to ask, and he really is a legend. He's a great man. I've known him for a tremendously long time. I refuse to say we were both young. Now we're both a little older. We refuse to say old, but we're a little older. But Roger Penske is the chairman, as you know, of Penske Corporation. He's got everything you can imagine, mostly, I think, to do with automotive. And I'd like to ask him to say a few words about the event, because this is going to be, they're putting everything behind it, and I think it's going to be really exciting. Roger, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. This is a really amazing time for us as a company to support the 250th anniversary for the country. And there's no better way for us to bring automotive and speed into the DC area and to have the opportunity to be able to compete here with our Indy cars. As you know, we own the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we're taking that history of over 100 years and the speed and what's taken place there with the different manufacturers and bringing it here to this race will be amazing. Certainly the Freedom 250, when you think about it, it's just a byproduct of what the President has done during this year. And this will be an event, obviously, in August, which will make a huge difference. And we're excited, be areas for people to see. Most of the grounds will be free. So it's going to be an economic benefit to the area, to the city, and obviously with our Fox partner, Eric Shanks, will be our
Okay, I do have a question, though. Anders says, I started watching closely after Obama's first term, but I didn't want to put my hat in. So you've been sort of kind of like watching since 2008, when President Obama, the 44th president of America, became the leader. And it's like, did you not like the fact that he became president? Or that just broke your heart? Or you didn't see anybody between President Trump or, Vice President Kamala Harris at the time that was capable of doing the job that you wanted them to do? Is that the case, Anders? Is that why you didn't vote in 2024 and, of course, 2020 and, of course, 4 years prior?
Partner. Believe me, what they did for us at Indy this past year, they're going to take that and put it on steroids, really, and take it to the next level. So thank you, Mr. President, for allowing us to come into your...
Miss Sandra says, even the Amish got out to vote. Golly, Anders, what in the world? If the Amish are going out to vote, you in North Carolina, bro. And you from America. You were born in America. What in the world ain't you voting? That's what Miss Sandra means. Like, the Amish voted. What in the world, Anders?
That's so great, Roger. Thank you. Great man. Eric, I'd like to have you say a few words. He's done a fantastic job at Fox, and he's really excited about this, and I know they're going to lay it on the line. Eric, please.
Sure. Well, thank you, Mr. President, for having us here today. Big shout out to Secretary Duffy. This project was kind of on life support until you stepped in recently and got us here today. Secretary Burgum, your team has been absolutely incredible.
Explain how many times you came to Washington trying to do this.
I think Bud came here 81 times.
81 meetings I had in Capitol
Meeting
Hill.
with senators, meeting with people at the Capitol. And they all wanted it. Everybody wanted it, but they couldn't figure it out. It was crazy. 80 some odd times. That's pretty amazing. So go ahead, please.
Great. Well, it's a real honor to be a partner with Roger and IndyCar. And at Fox Sports, we do the biggest events in sports. This year we have the FIFA World Cup that we'll be celebrating here as well. And then dovetailing right after that to be able to celebrate.
Alistair says it's pronounced Amish, not Amish. So Amish. So Amish. Okay? Amish. Amish. Am I right? Amish.
America's birthday on Fox is an absolutely incredible honor. And everyone at Fox Sports can't wait to see exactly how this is going to unfold and bring it to life. So, Mr. President, thank you again for signing this today.
And the big thing, it's August 21st through the 23rd, and I believe the race is on the 23rd, right?
Yes.
That's going to be incredible. They're going to have practice sessions. It's going to be just a very exciting period, I think, for Washington. If I could, I'd like to ask Sean.
That's how you know Miss Sandra is definitely OG status, because she voted for the first time during President Carter. So, you know, that's OG status. That's decades and decades and decades ago. So shout out to well, now, Miss Sandra, you're about to be called the OG because President Carter was decades ago. And of course, Ender says, Big Brother. I don't know if that's me, but okay. Because I've been afraid as a Christian. I felt like the Amish voting broke some sort of covenant, especially if the Trump/Antichrist turned out to be true. Enders? Just another list for the leftists to use against you.
The Secretary of Transportation is terrific and doing a great job.
I really don't have any comment. Anders. Okay, because it's like, you know, just like if you remember, Dr. Luke the Goat said this couple of lives ago. I can't remember, probably like 2 weeks ago or last week. He said every single generation have heard that the Antichrist is going to come, and of course, Judgment Day is going to come, and rapture is going to happen, and the end time is near. I remember that. Okay, I saw the comment, but it's true. Okay, now am I saying that the Antichrist or Judgment Day or rapture or the end days is in like for real? Of course, it's for real, but we're not just gonna, pause all our lives and live in fear. Not make decisions. We're gonna be stuck in what do you call it? In paralysis mode, because something is gonna happen that maybe or maybe not. You know what I mean? Like, we're not just gonna live our life like that. We're gonna make decisions. Okay, we're gonna take actions. If it happens, it happens. Okay, you're not just gonna sit there and say, "Well, if Trump turns out to be Antichrist, thank God I didn't vote for him." It's like, geez, you still got to make a decision. You still got to take action, So we're not just going to sit on the sideline. That's like sitting on the sideline. And if it goes wrong, it's like, okay, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Anders is trying to be, I know what Anders is trying. Anders, I know what you're trying to do. Anders is trying to, it's trying to look like, okay, if this goes bad, I didn't vote for Trump. Oh, I didn't vote for Trump. Y'all voted for Trump. Maybe. But, hey, I voted for Trump. I believe he's is the better man for the job, especially comparing between Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris at the time. It wasn't like, man, Jesus. Thank goodness we got Trump.
Much more important than Sean is we have Rachel Campos Duffy here, and she's one of the greatest people I know, and one of the greatest people on television, so most of you know her, but I don't think we'll have her speak about the race because she knows less about it than anybody up here. But she is fantastic. Sean, please.
So the president gave us all a directive, which I'm grateful for. We're going to celebrate America's...
Exactly. Anders says, well, Big Brother is the government, and he's been called to be a watcher. That's pretty deep, Anders. That's pretty deep. That's pretty substantial, okay? And Anders also says, I'm just keeping tabs on world news. Exactly. You're keeping tabs on world news. So, information that have been curated specifically for us to consume, whether it's true or not. You see what I mean? So we're not just going to be stuck in paralysis mode in decision making because some world news is telling us what to think, how to think, so we don't make decisions or influence our decisions or whatnot. I don't know. Because obviously we're being influenced every day by social media. We're being sold to every day by social media and these big, huge companies. However, it's like you still got to live your life, And I respect the fact that you are who you are, and like you said, you've been called to be a watcher, and if that's how you feel, you don't have to vote if you don't want to vote. It's your choice. Okay, I'm just saying, like, I would rather not sit on the sidelines,
250th birthday, and he asked all of us to think outside the box. How do we make this historic and cool, and let's all do this together? And he loves the country, he loves the birthday, and so we at DOT were working on this concept. We didn't know at the same time Penske was working on the same project too, and so we've come together, and Doug has been a wonderful partner. But to think 190 miles an hour down Pennsylvania Avenue, this is going to be wild. The last time we had a race in the capital city, Bud, was when?
1801, Thomas Jefferson with a horse race.
A horse race in 1801, Mr. President. Now we're going to do a real race.
That's so great. That's such a great.
So listen, this doesn't happen. We just don't come in and ask the president to sign. There's a lot of work that goes into this, as you can tell. Bud and my chief of staff Pete all had a lot of meetings on the Hill. We couldn't be more excited about this. Again, I'm going to repeat, this is free for the American people to come to your nation's capital and see a great road race. Freedom, America, speed, and road racing. It doesn't get more American than that, Mr. President. So thank you for signing this, and thanks for all your support.
You are fantastic, and what a job you've done. They put it together very quickly. They've been coming here for years, and everybody wanted it. Every senator wants it, every Congress, everybody wants it, but they don't get things done. Trump gets things done. We didn't have 89 meetings. We had maybe a half a meeting. I think this is probably about.
That's not even cap, okay? Trump gets SHIT done, okay? He gets it done. Regardless, you may not like him. You may not like his approach. You may not like the way he talks. You may not like his ego. You may not like the fact that, hey, fat, loud mouth, or whatever you want to call him, okay? The fact is he effective? Absolutely. He is effective. Every world leader are on their toes because everybody's watching where they're stepping on. It's like, okay, the guy in the Oval Office right now is, sort of bipolar. Okay. I'm sure that's what they're saying. Like, oh, this guy in the White House, you don't want to mess around. Okay. Because he's going to do exactly what he says he was going to do. All right. So if you're not on board, then get ready for schizophrenic episode. Schizophrenic episode. Okay. Bipolar episodes. Because it's going to. What happened to Venezuela? Maduro said, come and get me. Picked up. Easy. So these are the kind of. Trump is the kind of leader that he's going to talk, but his actions are going to be so high level that you cannot predict what he's going to do. Just know it's going to be very detrimental to you and your country. Okay? Like, dropping the nukes on, or dropping the sending the B2 or B12 bombers. Is it B2 or B12 bombers to Iran to destroy the Iranian nuclear capabilities, and also like everything he's been able to accomplish in this short time. It's remarkable. It is absolutely remarkable. But he would never be given his flowers, which he knows. Okay, even the Nobel Peace Prize he was given by the lady from, was it from Mexico? Where was she from? From, what was the lady from? Was he from Denmark? Where was the lady from? Let me go search. Okay, boom. I found her. He, of course, from Venezuela. She's from Venezuela. So she gave her prize to President Trump. She gave her prize to President Trump. Isn't that just wild? And I said back then that she may have done it because she was looking for, you know, President Trump's goodwill, which is valid.
About a half a meeting. I'd like to thank Pete Meacham for the great job you've done representing us, and Luke Bunting. These are two young people that work with us, and they've really been fantastic. I'd like to ask Doug Burgum to say a few words. He's very much involved through his position of Interior, because a lot of the...
Now, I said it was going to be between J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. So, Miss Sandra says I could be all right, starting to lean towards Rubio next election. But don't forget, Miss Sandra, Marco Rubio said he wasn't going to run if J.D. Vance was running. So if J.D. Vance is looking like he's going to be running. J.D. Vance is looking like he's going to be running. Okay? Because he's been, of course, doing press runs around, talking to people, doing interviews. This is like prepping him for campaign time. Okay? Because 2028 is just right around the corner. It's already 2026. By 2027, campaign's already started. Okay, so J.D. Vance seemed like the person who is ready for the next level. And I do think that Marco Rubio is a very capable person as well, because he's proven himself during his Trump administration. He's had so many hats. He's had so many duties he had to fulfill, and he hasn't complained. I haven't seen him fatigued on camera one time with all of the responsibilities that he had to handle. I think he's a calm person under pressure, and that's the kind of person you need as a commander-in-chief. But maybe he's great where he is as the Secretary of State. Maybe he is great where he is. I mean, look, hey, if J.D. Vance becomes the president in 2028 and Marco Rubio becomes vice president, I think that's fair. Okay, I think that works out, because J.D. Vance has this aura about him. Marco Rubio has that aura as well, but J.D. Vance just has this, in my opinion, feel like because his proximity to President Trump and being the vice president, he has this presidential aura as well.
Spaces Interior. He sort of has, I think he's the largest landlord anywhere in the world by far. So Doug, could you say a few words, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. President. This birthday that's coming up, the 250th anniversary of America, Freedom 250, is the most monumental birthday maybe of any country ever in the history of the world. And President Trump, with his directive to celebrate this thing, we've got what's more American than race car driving? What's more monumental than the Indy 500 as an icon of what's going on in our country? And so merging the history and the tradition of our capital, Washington, D.C., with the speed and the innovation that goes on in the IndyCar series is incredible. And it's a great metaphor, because The speeds we're talking about is the speed of President Trump. I want to reiterate, there weren't 81 meetings with the Trump administration. I think it was, they called President Trump. He got Sean and I going, and that was like from Saturday till now, we have a race.
1 week.
1 week we have a race as opposed to like 4 months of talking. So I think there's also a metaphor here about President Trump, who's an incredible sportsman. He's an athlete himself, but he loves sports. And so whether it's soccer, UFC, the football draft, NFL football draft coming, IndyCar, and all the teams that he hosts here, I mean, to any American who loves sports, you ought to love this president because he's bringing professional sports to our capital. And again, August 21st to 23rd, you talk about the economic impact. By the time all these reporters get done telling the story, there's not going to be a hotel room available in this city on that weekend because everybody's going to want to be here. Right. People that maybe have wanted to see an IndyCar race their whole life are now going to have an opportunity to come to their capital, celebrate 250, and see an IndyCar race for free. And they're going to be able to see it on the National Mall. And wherever you put down your lawn chair and watch this race for free, you're going to be staring at the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, the Jefferson Memorial, and I'm sure there's going to be fireworks this weekend too. I'm sure of that. And if you need a permit, you can get one from Interior. So anyway, it's absolutely incredible. And congratulations to Sean, the Penske organization, Fox Sports, everybody for putting together. This is going to be a great celebration for America.
Thank you very much, and you're doing a fantastic job. Could I just ask Bud Danker, he's the president of Penske Corporation, to say a few words, please?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. You know, Eric Shanks and I from Fox had this dream, and just last July, and could it ever be possible to bring a race to our nation's capital to celebrate our country's history? And everybody said there's no way. It's impossible. How do you put a race on at 190 miles an hour in a city like Washington, D.C.? I came here, I walked this area for a while, I found a racetrack on the Capitol grounds, up against a lot of meetings and couldn't get the kind of support we need. So within a week, Secretary Duffy and we put this together with the president, didn't we? And now we have a race here on our city property, on the national properties that is going to celebrate America. The word free shouldn't be overridden because we are going to have a free event here. People come out and celebrate our country's history. I also want to thank Mayor Bowser. She has been a great partner in this process as well too. So I know, Mr. President, she's a great supporter of what you've done here in the city as well too, and we thank her for this. But we're going to have an amazing event. We're going to make everybody in this country proud. We want everybody to come out for free and enjoy this and celebrate our country the way it should be here in the nation's capital. Thank you, Mr. President.
And I said pick the best site. It's very important. Pick the best site. Don't go for second or third because there are a lot of different routes. I said pick, even if it's more difficult to get approved. Pick the absolute best site. And they were actually looking at another site, and when I said that, they said, well, the best site is this site, the site we're doing. I said, let's take a look at it, and we think it's the best site too. It's actually better than the original site they were looking at, but if we're going to do it, we want to do it right. So this is going to be something in terms of the road width, the crowds, and everything else that we can all, the best site, one of the best sites I've ever seen, actually, and it'll be beautiful. So I'm going to sign this, and if you have any questions on this subject, that'd be great. We just named a new Fed chairman today. You know that? He's a Central Casting. He's like Roger Penske, Central Casting. You know him, Roger? Very good guy. Roger, no auto pen. I didn't use an auto pen.
Thank you.
Here, Roger, take that.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Oh, that's great.
Here you go, man. I didn't want to sign each letter. You know, they sign each letter. They hand pens. I used to watch these presidents. One letter. You got to see what it looks like at the end. Never looks too good. Here, Rachel, take that. Thanks for your team.
Thank you.
Congratulations. This is really exciting.
Thank you.
You have any questions about
On your Fed chair nominee, since you just brought it up, did Kevin Warsh commit to you that he will push to cut interest rates if he is confirmed?
No, but we talk about it, and I've been following him, and I don't want to ask him that question. I think it's inappropriate, probably. It probably would be allowed, but I want to keep it nice and pure. But he certainly wants to cut rates. I've been watching him for a long time.
Senator Tom Tillis.
Did you have any concerns about his hawkish history of pushing for rate hikes?
He's going to want to do the same thing. I think that, yeah, I've had times when I think you've had to really have rate hikes too. But he's very smart, very good, strong, young, pretty young, and I think he's going to do a good. I mean, he was the central casting guy that people wanted. Kevin was great. I tell you what, I met numerous people. Every one of them were fantastic, really fantastic. I wanted to keep Kevin here, and I thought that I called Kevin 1, Kevin 2, and we have. I said it's going to be a Kevin, but Kevin really has been fantastic at the White House. You all know him. You know him very well, and so we have Kevin W.
Are you concerned, Mr. President, about the conference?
So this guy, President Trump is talking about as the new Fed chairman, Kevin Maxwell Walsh, is an American financier and bank executive who served as a member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors from 2006 to 2011. He is 55 years old, and of course, he's been a member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors of the United States since 2006 to 2011, and I guess he's pretty seasoned in the finance industry and banking industry. So let's see if he's gonna be the next. Well, obviously, Jerome is gonna be out of there in May, so this guy, President Trump is peeking out, is most likely going to cut rate drastically, because I'm sure that's why President Trump is employing him in the first place.
Confirmation hearings. We've heard Senator Tillis. You think with the DOJ investigation?
This is in the whole country. I would say that this was the perfect candidate. This was not a surprise or anything. This was the man that's most qualified. Top student, best schools, everything was like perfect. The youngest person ever to serve on the Fed. Got the whole package. Looks don't mean anything, but he's got the look, right? Roger, looks don't mean anything, but if they have the look, it's okay. But he's got the whole package, and I think he's going to do a great job, and he loves the country.
Mr. President, why are you
Please, in the back, yes.
Are you giving Iran any kind of deadline to make a deal before potentially taking
Only
military
they
action?
know for sure.
Have you communicated that to them directly?
I have.
Mr. President, do you have a timeline for when you're going to pull back potentially the federal presence there?
No, we'll see how it all works out. They have to float someplace. They might as well float near Iran, but it's a rough situation going on. So I stopped 837 people, as you know, last week from being hung. They were going to hang 830. It was all set, and
Can you imagine stopping execution of human beings who were supposed to be hanged? Is like crazy. This guy stopped it. To think that some people are around the world trying to hang human beings, and he's stopping it. He's no angel. He's no pastor. He's no reverend. He's no, prophet. But you can't deny the fact that it takes good conscience, okay? It does, to be able to say, you know what? Why do you want to hang people? All right. What do I have to do to stop that? He doesn't have to do it, but doing it is key.
I mean, I'm looking at the people behind me. They're saying, what kind of racing's a lot nicer than that, right? They were going to hang 837 people, and I told them, if you do it, you're going to pay a price like nobody's ever paid before. And they pulled back. I appreciated that. But a lot of people are being killed, so we'll see what happens. I can say this, they do want to make a deal.
Mr. President, about Virginia, actually. Virginia flipped the governors, and now they're looking at 50 proposals to increase taxes. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's terrible. I think a lot of people will leave Virginia. I saw that. Look, Glenn was a friend of mine, Glenn Youngkin, and worked so hard on cutting taxes. This woman came in, and in one swoop, she raised everything up higher than it ever was. I don't understand it. I mean, people voted for Democrat, but she came in and she raised, and I'll work with her like I work with everyone else, but she came into Virginia, raised everything to a point like taxes that nobody ever even heard of before. And I don't understand. How do people get elected with this kind of philosophy? This is only in the very modern age. You know, I grew up and I've always heard politicians will cut taxes, will cut. Everybody screaming, we're going to cut taxes. I cut taxes. I gave you the biggest tax cut in the history of our country in the great big beautiful bill. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. Interest deductions, Roger, when somebody buys a car, they can deduct the interest if they borrow money. That's the biggest thing in terms of the car business, right?
American-made ones.
Correct. So we have, you know, I give tax cuts and they give tax increases. I don't know how they get elected. They get elected because they cheat. You want to know the truth? If they didn't cheat, they'd have no chance. They have horrible policy. Transgender for everyone. They have the little thing about open borders so that the world's prison population and mental hospitals can be emptied into our country. It's just a crazy. Men playing in women's sports. Roger, are you a fan of men playing in women's sports? Only as a bettor. You'd like to bet. If you're not a big fan. I don't think so. I don't want to get him in trouble, but I think he joins in 99% of. They say it's an 80-20 issue. I think it's maybe 99. It's 99-1.
Mr. President, why are you suing your own administration and the IRS?
Wait. Anders, I just saw your comment right now saying that Anders says those are the Satanists in government that I lay awake in bed thinking about. Jesus, Anders, why are you laying in bed thinking about this Satanist? No, we're not gonna do that, okay, Anders? Don't lay in your bed. You're supposed to be resting, laying your back, and just relaxing. Okay? You're there thinking about the Satanist in government. There's always going to be bad actors, okay? It's the thing, like, we don't want these people to take over our minds, okay? The news, you know, that's why I really don't consume so many news. I mean, I listen to the news, you know, I do, but I don't drench myself in it. You know, I don't sink inside. I just listen to it. I'm like, okay, all right. You know, we don't want to be radicals because if, you know, when these people take crazy hold of you, that's why people are becoming psychopath, okay? Turning to violence, and it's like, oh, I can't take it anymore. I got to do something about this. You know what I mean? Like, you're giving them too much power. They already have a lot of power, but giving them too much power is allowing them to take over your mind, allowing this news that you're consuming to take over your entire life, that you sleep on the bed at night or you lay on the bed at night, like you said, thinking about a Satanist in government. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no, Anders. I pay my rent, okay? None of this Satanist in government pay my rent for me. Okay? If you pay a mortgage or your rent by yourself, why in the world do I give you the power to, you know, did you see the comment before that? Okay, let me see. Let me see the comment before that. Edward Snowden info leak that where scares me the most. The illegal surveillance of U.S. citizens, Peter John Kennedy the trip, I love there. Yeah. But long story short, Anders, long story short, when you lay in bed at night, don't think about the Satanist in government, okay? Think about a bright future, okay? Think about something that you love, like somebody in your family that you love, you know? Or just think about your music, because I know you are a great guitarist. So, yeah, don't give them too much power. Not giving no goddamn Satanist in government any thoughts.
You're a loud person. Very loud. Let somebody else have a chance.
Can you answer the question? Why are you suing IRS?
ABC fake news.
You're suing.
Go ahead. I didn't call on you. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
And another thing is, did you know that President Trump is suing the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, for $10 billion because his tax information was leaked. Did you know that?
Do you think the upcoming talks...
ABC, by the way, is truly one of the worst. Go ahead.
Do you think the upcoming talks between Russia and Ukraine stand a chance without U.S. envoy Witkoff and Jared Kushner there?
I think they stand a chance. We've been trying. I've ended 8 wars. All of them I thought were going to be maybe tougher than this one. But Zelensky and Putin hate each other, and it makes it very difficult. But I think we're getting very close to getting a settlement. Hundreds of thousands of people, mostly soldiers, have been killed. Last week they lost 29,000 people. Last month they lost 29,000 soldiers. Can you believe that, fellas? 29,000. You lose one race driver and it's a big deal. 29,000 soldiers in 1 month. 27,000 the month before. I think that we have a good chance of getting it settled. Yeah, ma'am, please.
Mr. President, on the Warsh nomination, what is your strategy for getting past the hold that Senator Tillis has on this process? He said he won't allow.
Well, that's that kind of thinking is why he's no longer a senator. He's going to be out of office. It's too bad. I always liked Senator Tillis actually, but he did some things that were not smart. And whatever. I mean, if he doesn't approve, we'll just have to wait till somebody comes in that will approve it, right? So that's it. But I saw that he wants to be an obstructionist, but we have a lot of obstructionists. I've had a lot, and we've created the best presidency maybe ever. Yeah.
A follow-up. If Iran doesn't make a deal, is your plan to replicate there what you just did in Venezuela?
I don't want to say that. I don't want to talk about anything having to do with what I'm doing militarily, but we have a tremendously powerful fleet there. We have the most powerful ships in the world. We have the most powerful military by far in the world. We showed that on numerous occasions. I mean, I rebuilt the military in my term. If I didn't do, I wouldn't, I think, be able to say that, but I rebuilt the military, the entire United States military in my first term. And now we're building it bigger, better, stronger than ever before. I'm adding to it. We're adding something called a battleship. You would find this interesting. You know the old-fashioned beautiful battleships? And we're adding up to 25 of them. Each battleship is 100 times more powerful than the battleships of the 1940s, those big, powerful ones with the guns, because of what the ships carry. But we're going to build 10. And then we'll see how we like them, and we're going to go and do another 15 after that. Could be up to 25 battleships. 100 times more powerful. Can you imagine that? And it's peace through strength. We don't want to use them, but if we have to use them, we will.
Mr. President, on the Fed, should the DOJ continue with its investigation into Jay Powell? That seems to be a sticking point for Senator Tillis.
Well, he's got a building that, I build buildings, and I build them under budget, ahead of schedule. I build them, but they're within reason always. And this is a small little complex that's costing billions of dollars, most expensive job per square foot ever built. And it's a little complex. It's a little Fed complex. I built the hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue, and I built it for around $200 million, and it's bigger than that. They're spending many times that amount to do a renovation of a building. I've heard numbers as high as $4 billion. $4 billion to build a building. I could have renovated that building and fixed it up, made it beautiful for $25 million. They're going to spend close to $4 billion on it. So it's either gross incompetence or it's theft. Somebody's making money, because you can't spend. It's more per square, and you have half a building there. You have the structure, you have the exterior skin, that they're not changing much. They're building a building and they're spending almost, I'm hearing numbers of between $3 and $4 billion. It's the most expensive structure ever built per square foot. So he's either incompetent or he or somebody is a crook. And we'll find out.
Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. On Minneapolis, Governor Tim Walz recently likened the conflict on the ground to Fort Sumter, sort of imply that this is the beginning of a civil war. Do you agree with that characterization? Do you feel like there's a civil war brewing?
The governor said that? Well, does he know what Fort Sumter was, or do you think somebody wrote it out for him? No, this is, I was elected on law and order. I was elected on a strong border. We had a border that allowed 25 million people to come in. Many were murderers. They murdered people. We had 11,888 murderers. We had prisons, including Venezuela, but Venezuela opened its prisons. So did the Congo. The Congo in Africa opened its prisons and dumped people into our country. Many countries did that. I would have done that if I were leading a country. I would have dumped the prisoners into our country. We had open borders. We had all these things. I was elected on law and order. I was elected on the economy. I was elected on a lot of reasons. Because when I took over, we inherited a mess. Prices were too high. Inflation was the highest it was in 48 years. I say ever, but the media always corrects me by saying it's only 48 years. I think 48 years almost sounds worse. But when I was elected to do a job. And one of the big things I was elected to do is law and order. We now have the lowest crime rate in the history of our country. We have the lowest murder rate in the history of our country. We have Washington, D.C., which was a dangerous place to walk, is now a totally safe city. You can walk with your husband or your wife. You can walk with your children right down the middle of the city. Nothing's going to happen. We did a great job. We had the National Guard. We have soldiers. We have people that nobody's going to mess with. And we've taken out. Remember, it's not just that. In Washington, we've removed over 2,000 criminals. And, if you look at the numbers, a very small percentage of your population, 2%, 3% of your population causes 90% of the crime. So when you move it's amazing how that works. But the criminals go over and over and over again. So 2 to 3% of your population can cause over 90% of your crime. So it's not that complex. We moved 2,000.
Dr. Luke the Goat says Trump has brutal comebacks. Absolutely. Absolutely. He always says you fight till the end. And when you get attacked, you attack back viciously. I mean, it may sound like, well, this is a bad trait to have or a bad whatever. But I mean, when somebody's attacking you, what do you expect them to do? Do you just turn the other cheek and keep getting slapped every single time? Sometimes you got to stand up for yourself and, fight as hell, like he always says. Because if you let these people, they would destroy you, probably end your life.
1,000 people out of Washington. We brought them back to their countries where they came from. They came through open borders by sleepy Joe Biden. And I will tell you, Washington is safe. If you look at New Orleans, as you know, we went there about 4 weeks ago. I was with the mayor of New Orleans last night. He was at the premiere, and she was at the premiere. She was great. I believe she's a Democrat. She came over. She thanked me so much. She said crime is down more than 50% in just a few weeks. And you couldn't even walk down the street in New Orleans. It's so bad. And now they let us in there, and she is thanking me so much, so profusely. She was great last night. I'd do that if I were a Democrat. I'd say call Trump and let them do what they do. But we remove people, criminals, from the cities, and they become safe cities. If you look at Minnesota, Minneapolis, we have crime down there because we took out thousands of people, despite all the mess and everything else. But do these people really want to have rapists? Do they really want to have drug dealers and people from prisons and murderers? Do they really want to have them in the community? It's really insurrectionists and agitators, and they're paid. And you can tell a lot of reasons. Number one, they're professionals, with their mouth. But they're also, you look at the signs are all professionally made. They have signs that are gorgeous. In fact, I want to get the sign because I need a lot of signs for different things, and I want to find out whoever does their signs, they do a beautiful job. Everybody has this beautiful sign with brand new wood. It's like leather panels. They have a leather handle on the bottom. These are not people these are people that are handed signs, and we know pretty much, we're getting very close to it, but we know pretty much who's funding this stuff. These are paid insurrectionists, paid troublemakers.
And that's the case right there. Some people are saying it's George Soros sponsoring this, paid agitators, allegedly. Who knows? I mean, nobody knows. But he's saying that they're getting close and they sort of know who is funding this chaos-ridden city agitators. Who knows? Okay, who knows? Let's see who is behind it. But if they could take away the paid agitators, then the real protesters would be on the street and protesting the right way.
I was elected by a landslide. I won every swing state. I won the popular vote by a lot. I won everything.
100%.
I won everything. And I was elected by a landslide on law and order and on strong borders. We had a border that was so bad,
Funded
so
by
open,
China?
where 25 million people came in over a period of 4 years, and now nobody comes in. Nobody even tries to come in. And I can only say, I think we'll say it very plainly, elections have consequences. The people want law and order. And we have a silent majority. You know, we have a silent majority of people. They don't go and riot and everything else, but they like what we're doing. They like having a safe city. I get calls every single day. Every person I see working in the White House, people I don't know, many people work here, and they say, I'd like to thank you, sir. Why? You've made Washington so great. We walk to work. They walk to work. You people know it very well. You walk to work now. You used to take an Uber or a taxi or something, and you even felt like in danger there. Every person in this building, I mean, virtually every time I see somebody, they thank me. Because a year and a half ago, they lived in hell, and now they can walk to work, and they're totally safe. Nothing's going to happen. And if anything did happen, the person that did it would be living in hell for a long period of time. Thank you very much, everybody.
This is how a president should behave himself, really, and carry himself. And of course, a president should want the best for the people that elected him there, which I think positively he is doing. Okay. And he spoke about the silent majority, which for sure there are millions and millions of silent majority. They're not on the street protesting, but these are working Americans, hardworking Americans who go to work, who take care of their families, who pay their bills, who pay their taxes. They're not gonna go into Target and Walmart and holding signs and screaming, "F ICE." No, they don't. They have responsibilities like adult, every adult in America has. Okay, so first off, support your country, love your country. Don't be a hater. Okay, don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. Okay, don't hate. Okay, do not. All right, don't do it. Love your country. Cherish your country, because if you don't love and cherish your country, who is going to love and cherish your country for you? Okay? That's it. That is it. And thank you guys for being here. You guys are awesome. God bless you. If you didn't subscribe, subscribe. If you didn't like. You guys make this show fun. So I appreciate you guys for spending your time with me. Shout out to everybody who tuned in. So God bless you. Instead of looking for perfection, seek for consistency. Never give up on yourself. Never give up on your dreams. Never give up on God. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams. And believe in Almighty God. God is the greatest any day, anytime. And regardless of what man does, God is still God. So don't let man's news sort of make you afraid, okay? Because a lot of people are afraid. They live in fear because of what the world news media is telling them. So don't live in fear based off of what news is feeding you every day, okay? Like I always say, sometimes log off, turn it off, go outside, spend time with your kids, spend time with your loved ones, spend time with your mom, your dad, or your niece and nephew, whatever it is. Spend time with those people. Don't spend 24/7 or 18 hours in 24/7 watching MSNBC or Fox or CNN or whatever news that you consume. It's okay to check once in a while. Okay. I think 2 hours or 3 hours a day is enough for consumption of news. Okay. But if you spend hours and hours and hours and hours on consuming news, it's like, Jesus, what time do you have left to give your kid a hug or your wife a kiss? I mean, Jesus. Shout out to let me see. Ender says funded by China. Miss Sandra says funded by Indivisible, and who is funded by Soros? Indivisible, is that like a group of agitators that are funded by Soros? I've never heard those people before. Dr. Luke the Ghost says Trump is not afraid of activist journalism for real. Yes, of course. Callister says America will fall from within, then at its lowest point, it will be attacked from an outside force due to Trump's stupidity and aggression. If we don't check Trump soon, Trump must go. Really? Remember what happened during Hillary and President Trump? If Trump becomes the president, there would be a nuclear war. That's what they were talking about. Remember that? I guess it's sort of the same thing Callister is talking about right here, saying America is going to fall from within and some outside force is going to come take America ransom because Trump has to go. If Trump doesn't go, the world is going to end. It's not going to happen. And Dr. Luke says, God has all the cards. We are living in incredible times. Oh my goodness. This is the energy. That's the energy. I feel like we human beings, we give negativity, the devil, the Satanist, or whoever, we give these people so much power. It's like, no. God created heavens and the earth and everything thereof. So it's like, who the hell are you? I'm not going to give you zero power. All power belongs to God. The most that can happen is you're going to kill the flesh. That's the most you could do. You could never touch the soul. So it's like, stop giving too much power to this. In my opinion, rather, is you're giving power to man. It's like, no. 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 Hell to the no. Miss Sandra says America, Poland, Canada, Greenland. And Ender says, take care till the next stream. Genesis, much appreciated for the honesty. Shout out to Enders, man. God bless you. Miss Sandra says, stay safe and stay blessed. God bless you as well, Miss Sandra. And Dr. Luke the Go says, great chat tonight. Yes. Yes, you guys are awesome. You guys are so awesome, okay? God is the greatest, okay? God is the greatest. Shout out to our members. Dr. Luke the Goat, God bless you. God bless you for the support. Thank you. And Mrs. Goat, Dr. Luke's wife, God bless you as well. Sending all the love and the word to you and your family, Dr. Luke the Goat, God bless you. And of course, the veteran, Miss Sandra, God bless you. Thank you for your service. And thank you for supporting the channel as well. And of course, Anders. God bless you, Anders, as well. And you are amazing, brother. All right, you guys have a wonderful night. Hug your family, kiss your wife, kiss your kid, okay? Text your mom, text your dad. Just show love to your family and put a smile on your face, okay? Put a smile on your face and understand and accept that God is the greatest. That's it. That's it. Man can only do what God allows. Man can only do what God allows. If God doesn't allow it, it's not going to happen. I know it could be brutal, but if God doesn't allow it, it's not going to happen. Anyway, I am your host, Genesis, and we just finished this live show. Shout out to Jewel as well. Have a wonderful night. Callister, God bless you for tuning in as well. God bless you. All right. See you tomorrow.